Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep today into AI chips,
Oh, fun.
and specifically their potential impact on the NASDAQ in 2025. We found this really interesting article from the Motley Fool
Okay.
we'll be looking at for this deep dive. It talks about this fascinating historical trend of what happens after the NASDAQ gains, like over 30% in a single year.
So, what happens after a really strong year for the NASDAQ?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, interesting.
And they highlighted Broadcom as a stock to watch.
Broadcom, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so the article pointed out that historically,
Okay.
when the NASDAQ jumps over 30%,
Hmm.
the following year it usually sees an average return of 19%.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. 19% on average.
I know, right? And it's been consistent since 1971.
That's a long time. So you're saying history suggests we could be in for
Yeah,
a pretty exciting 2025.
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially since it looks like 2024 is on track for that 30% gain.
Yeah, it really does. Now, of course, past performance doesn't
All right.
guarantee future results, but it's a trend worth considering. And you mentioned Broadcom.
Yeah.
They seem to be well positioned for this potential growth,
Yeah.
and their recent stock split makes it even more accessible.
Definitely. That 10-for-1 split was big news
For sure.
for investors. So for anyone who doesn't know much about Broadcom, they're not exactly a household name.
Right. They're not Apple or Google, but...
Right. But they're pretty big in the tech world.
Oh, absolutely. They're a major player. They have two main segments.
Okay.
Semiconductor solutions and then infrastructure software.
So on the hardware side,
Right.
they make the chips for everything from networking and servers to mobile devices.
Exactly. And even those custom AI chips we've been hearing so much about,
Oh, right. I forgot about those.
they're really making a name for themselves in that space.
So they're behind a lot of the tech we use every day.
Yeah, basically the brains of a lot of our devices.
And then on the software side,
They offer things like mainframe solutions,
Okay.
cybersecurity, virtualization platforms.
yeah. Wow, so they're a pretty diverse company.
Very much so. That's why they're so interesting to watch.
So tell me more about these custom AI chips.
Okay.
The article highlighted how dominant Broadcom is in some key areas.
Right, like their market share.
Yeah, they have something like 80% of the data center networking chip market.
80%. That's huge.
I know. It's incredible. And they also control 60% of the market for custom AI accelerators.
And that market is only going to grow. Spending on AI accelerators is projected to grow by 29% every year until 2030.
Wow, that's a lot of growth. So they're not just making any AI chips.
Yeah.
They're making the ones that are in high demand.
Exactly. And they're designing custom chips for some really big names.
Yeah, the article mentioned Alphabet, Meta platforms, even ByteDance.
TikTok's parent company.
Oh, right. That's incredible. They're working with some of the biggest players in tech.
They are. And get this.
Right.
The potential revenue from just those clients alone is estimated to be between
No way.
$60 and $90 billion by 2027.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But wait,
Yeah.
it gets even crazier. The CEO hinted that they might have two more huge clients joining soon.
Oh, really? Who?
Apple and OpenAI.
Wow. Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Right. So the takeaway from this article is that
Okay.
even though Broadcom stock might seem pricey, their position in these high-growth markets
Especially AI.
makes them a company worth keeping an eye on.
Definitely. Especially for those who are comfortable with a little risk.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how things play out.
for sure.
But all this talk about custom AI chips has got me thinking, what about the more established players like NVIDIA?
Right. They're heavily invested in the traditional GPU market.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
are custom AI chips going to replace GPUs altogether?
That's a great question, and one we'll dive into in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned. Okay, so before we got too caught up in the world of Broadcom and their custom AI chips, we were talking about this potential shift in the AI landscape
Right.
and what it could mean for the more established players,
Mm.
especially NVIDIA. I mean, they've been the king of the hill
Oh, yeah, for sure.
so long when it comes to GPUs.
Absolutely.
And those have been essential for AI development.
Yeah, for years now.
So is this the beginning of the end for NVIDIA or?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
They've definitely built a powerful presence,
For sure.
and they're not going down without a fight.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to remember that even though Broadcom is making waves with these custom AI chips, GPUs still have a vital role in many AI applications.
How's that?
It's not a simple case of one technology replacing the other.
Gotcha. So more of an evolution than a revolution.
Exactly. AI applications are becoming more diverse and complex, and the hardware needs to adapt as well. Broadcom's custom chips are a prime example of that evolution.
Okay, so Broadcom's kind of pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, they're pushing the boundaries.
But GPUs still have their place.
Yeah, they offer flexibility and power that's essential for certain types of AI workloads.
So it's all about finding the right tool for the job.
Precisely. And NVIDIA recognizes this.
So they're not just ignoring what's happening.
No, they're not sitting idly by. They're actively developing their own AI-specific chips and platforms.
Oh, really? So they are trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They recently released a new chip specifically designed for large language models.
Oh, wow. Those are becoming increasingly important in AI.
Hugely important.
So they're acknowledging that the landscape is changing.
And they're evolving to stay competitive.
It's almost like a David and Goliath situation.
I like that analogy.
With Broadcom being the underdog challenging the giant NVIDIA.
Right. And it'll be fascinating to see how this rivalry plays out. Competition often breeds innovation.
Yeah, that's true. So this could actually be good for the advancement of AI technology as a whole.
Absolutely. A rising tide lifts all boats, as they say.
Okay, so we've got this battle brewing in the AI chip world. But what does this mean for the average person? Are we going to see custom AI chips in our smartphones and laptops anytime soon?
It's unlikely that we'll see them replacing GPUs in consumer devices in the near future.
Okay.
GPUs are still very versatile and cost-effective,
Right.
especially for things like gaming and graphics rendering.
Yeah, those are still key functions for those devices.
Exactly. So the impact of this shift might be more behind the scenes.
At least for now.
For now, yeah. The real impact will likely be felt in data centers,
Okay.
cloud computing, and enterprise AI applications. That's where the specialized performance of custom AI chips can really shine.
You mentioned earlier that this trend could lead to a more specialized and fragmented hardware landscape.
Right.
What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, traditionally, we've relied on GPUs for a wide range of AI tasks.
Yeah, like a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. But as AI evolves, we're seeing a need for more specialized hardware.
Okay.
Hardware that's optimized for specific types of AI workloads.
So instead of just buying a powerful GPU,
Yeah.
companies might need to carefully consider which custom AI chip is best suited for their needs.
That's right. It's like choosing the right tool for the job.
I like that analogy.
If you're building a house,
Yeah.
you wouldn't use a hammer for every task. You'd use a saw for cutting wood.
A screwdriver for screws.
Exactly. Same principle applies to AI hardware.
So this increasing specialization could make things more complicated?
It definitely adds complexity.
Okay.
Companies will need to have a deeper understanding of their AI workloads
Right.
and the different types of hardware available.
So more research and planning involved.
Absolutely. This could lead to a more dynamic and competitive market,
Okay.
with companies specializing in different types of AI chips and solutions.
This is all fascinating, but I have to ask,
What's that?
what does this mean for investors? Should we be dumping our NVIDIA stock and buying Broadcom like crazy?
Whoa, hold on. It's never that simple.
Right.
Investing is about understanding the bigger picture, making informed decisions based on your goals and risk tolerance.
So no rash decisions based on one podcast episode.
Exactly. NVIDIA is still a major player in the tech world.
Yeah.
And they have a history of innovation. It's entirely possible they adapt and thrive in this evolving market.
But it sounds like Broadcom is a company worth watching.
Absolutely. They're definitely positioned for growth in this exciting new area of AI hardware.
Good.
The key is to stay informed, do your research, and understand the potential risks and rewards before making any decisions.
So basically, don't panic and sell everything based on one article or a single trend.
That's right. Keep your cool, do your homework.
Okay.
Make informed decisions that align with your investment strategy.
Makes sense. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. There's a whole world of information out there about the AI chip market.
Yeah.
The competition between different companies and the implications for investors.
Okay.
We'll be exploring some of that in the final part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned. So we've talked about the potential for the NASDAQ in 2025 and this whole rise of custom AI chips. We've even touched on how companies like Broadcom and NVIDIA are adapting to this new landscape.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It is. But like we've been saying, this is really just the tip of the iceberg, right?
It really is. There's so much more to explore.
There is. So for anyone who wants to dive even deeper, where should they start?
Well, I think it's important to really understand the different types of AI workloads
Okay.
and which ones are best suited for custom chips versus GPUs.
So not all AI tasks are created equal.
Exactly. Some workloads, like those involved in natural language processing or image recognition, can benefit tremendously from custom chips.
Because those chips are designed for specific tasks.
Right, they're built for efficiency and speed in those areas.
Makes sense. But for other tasks, GPUs might still be the better choice.
Exactly. It's about using the right tool for the job.
Like a master chef using different knives for different tasks.
Exactly. A paring knife for delicate work. A chef's knife for heavier chopping.
I get it. So it's not just about blindly jumping on the custom chip bandwagon.
Right. You need to understand the nuances of each type of chip.
But what about the software? You can't forget about that.
Oh, absolutely. The software is critical.
It's what unlocks the hardware's potential, right?
Precisely. And as more custom AI chips come out, we're going to need specialized software frameworks and tools.
So this could spark a whole new wave of innovation in software.
Absolutely. Developers will need to create new tools to take full advantage of these chips.
That's exciting. So we've got the hardware evolving, the software evolving.
It's a lot.
It is. Any final words of wisdom for investors trying to navigate all of this?
The biggest thing to remember is that investing in technology, especially a field as dynamic as AI, always comes with some risk.
Okay.
So don't chase hype or make impulsive decisions.
No panic selling or FOMO buying.
Exactly. Do your research and focus on understanding the long-term trends.
Look beyond the headlines.
Exactly. Try to grasp the fundamental value of the companies you're considering.
Makes sense. There's just so much noise out there in the tech world.
There is.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement.
For sure.
But taking a step back and making informed decisions is key.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive.
Wow, it's gone by fast.
It has.
We've explored the world of AI chips.
From the rise of custom chips to the competition between companies like Broadcom and NVIDIA.
And we even touched on the implications for the NASDAQ in 2025.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It has. I hope everyone listening has gained some valuable insights.
Me too.
Remember, the world of technology is constantly evolving.
Keep learning.
Embrace the challenge and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.